Rangers' latest defeat has not only piled pressure on Russell Martin, but also sparked sharp criticism from across the football world. Following the result, CBS's post-match panel didn't hold back, openly questioning the manager's decisions and approach. Their blunt reaction, summed up by the remark, "What are you doing there?" highlighted the growing scrutiny on Martin as his side continues to stumble. Let's have a watch of this in today's video, along with going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Have a watch.
He talks about mentality. You're hired as a manager. Your job is to fix that. You're supposed to be the mentality setter. You're supposed to do that. You can't just say the obvious of what we see. Your job is to manage this team. Fix it. You can't be telling us about the mentality's not there, the set pieces, and, we're not competing. Like, that's your job. What are you doing then?
Yeah,
Anyone could do the job. Like, fix it.
What?
Don't tell us that. Tell me, I'm going to fix the mentality. It's not good enough. We didn't perform. We need to do better. We need to compete. And I'm going to make it work. Don't just tell us the obvious that we just seen, sat and watched. Like, that's your job. That's why you're hired as a manager. Go and manage. Fix the problems that are there.
Stark contrast to Ange Postecoglou, right? In the way that this guy behaves, the way that he speaks. He's speaking as if he's like a mid-table team on like match day 17. It's like, okay, we'll just revert like this. It's fine. We'll do a couple things. It'll be better. Mentality is not great. You're the manager of Rangers, man, and you're undergoing perhaps one of the worst crises in modern history, despite all the administrative issues that they had to one side. But from a football perspective, this is rock bottom, perhaps, at least in my lifetime. I don't know. I have to roll back the clock, but this is bad.
This is as bad in terms of their struggles when they had, as talk about their administration problems, and they had to go and restart, and they had to restart from the bottom and come all the way up through the divisions again. They stick in terms of overall, the fan base is so loyal to them. Incredibly loyal. And Nico's right, they're a special team because of their fan base. And right now, they're not getting serviced. I was shocked to see that poster in that flag in there with his face, because that's not a Rangers sign. They don't do those sort of things.
Listen, and I know people say about Russell Martin, is his time up? When's he going to get sacked? For me, that's a manager just letting you know he's still very comfortable. Yeah. That is a manager that lets you know that we don't know something that's going on.
He doesn't feel the pressure.
Nah, he doesn't feel it.
It seems like the ownership are backing him. But there's going to be a problem, because there'll be a point where the fan base turns, because they're trying to be supportive. But right about now, the results are not happening.
I don't know how supportive a banner with his face crossed out.
No, but some of them are trying to be, because there's only so much you can do. But if it seems like the ownership want to stick with him, you have to make a decision. And if the performances don't start to improve soon, for fans to start to see some progression, it's going to be hell to pay. And you don't want to be around there, because Rangers is not just a football club. It's an institution. It's deeper than that.
What are your thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comments. In other news, they stand united. Will they fall together? In another moment of collective failure, it is time for individual reflection at Ibrox. Derek Cornelius knows something has to change if Rangers' fortunes are to do likewise. The latest inquest has started, and the search for answers to tough questions, the hunt for solutions to repeating problems, is becoming all too familiar a process. For Russell Martin, the issues were clear on Thursday night. The head coach pointed to mentality and concentration as the key factors behind the defeat to Sturm Graz. He insisted it was not about individuals, but spoke about mistakes that were made at big times in a big game. Cornelius could not defend the defending and has called for every member of the squad to consider their role in the latest embarrassing episode this term following a 2-1 defeat to Sturm Graz. There have been too many already, and the pressure on Martin will continue to build while his side continues to fail. Yeah, we speak about it, but it always seems that we find ourselves open in different circumstances, Cornelius said. One week, maybe it's transitions, another week, I don't know, free kicks, whatever, and now it's off a throw-in. It seems that we keep having the same conversation as to why, but I just think it's a mentality thing, because the way we showed in the second half, we showed that we are capable of being a really good group and a really good team. But it's like we try and pick our moments, and in football it's two halves, and we have to know that. Yeah, it comes down to each individual, right? We all control what we do on the pitch, so we all have to look at ourselves in the mirror and take responsibility for what's not going right. We can't look and point fingers now. Each individual has to be better themselves, and yeah, ultimately that's going to help us. I can't answer that for you if the players are looking at themselves in the mirror. We have a big group of almost 30 players, but if we're not doing that, then we're going to continue having the same struggles. So I think we have to do that. It's not really a choice. We play for Rangers and we have a responsibility when playing for Rangers, and if we're not able to improve individually, then it's going to be a long season. There were times when it looked like being a long night for Rangers in Austria. This encounter did not unravel in the same way as their previous away defeat in Bruges, but it was another result and performance that could not be excused. Rangers are one of only 6 clubs who are still winless in the Europa League. The failings were clear. The 2 goals that were conceded in the first half were, of course, the main ones. A defensive unit that have been too easy to play against, too easy to play through, so often this term was exposed once again. The opening goal came from a Rangers throw-in. The second one came from a free kick that saw one pass tear Martin's side open. Tomi Horvat and Otar Kitashvili provided the decisive moments that ensured there was no way back for the visitors. Yeah, frustrating, Cornelia said. We don't start the match well at all. We find ourselves down 2-0 pretty quickly. Not necessarily from what they've done, it's more so what we've done to ourselves. We try to react in the second half, but ultimately we fall short. So yeah, it's frustrating. Even I can't answer what happened at the first goal for you because it just seemed like we lost the throw-in and we just seemed so open after that. So I don't even have an answer for you. We're going to have to definitely look back on it. But as you said, it's not something you see often and it's something we can't be accepting. The closing stages were frantic. Martin added player after player from the bench following a halftime reshuffle, and it was only when Rangers abandoned the approach that the head coach utilizes that they looked like completing the comeback. It had been started by JD Gassama just after the interval. A fine strike from distance, his 5th in European competition this term, gave Rangers hope. The second half showing gave Martin encouragement. In the end, there was little for the away support to take home with them. The trip to Falkirk on Sunday will be made with the expectation bar set low once again. If the same mistakes are made, the same outcome is more than likely. No, I think what we did, we brought intensity to the match, Cornelia said. And I think it's normal that when you're chasing a game, you leave yourself a little bit more vulnerable in the back because you're trying to go after the goal and maybe we're not sitting back as much. So maybe that's part of the reason why maybe it looked chaotic, as you say. But I think this is just something that we need to bring every game in. It doesn't matter the result, we need to come with that intensity, that hunger to win a match, really. I think it comes down, as I said, to the individual. I think we have clear instructions. I think it's an easy way out as a player to just say it's a manager, or it's this reason, it's that reason. That's the easy way out because then you're deflecting responsibility on yourself. But ultimately it's us on the pitch and we need to be performing. So I think each individual, as I said, needs to be better and we need to see where stuff is not going well and ultimately get results and start getting wins. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.